All right. Hello, I think I'm back. I think I fixed it. Hello. Can you hear me this time? Yes, it's working. OBS hates me. I had to re-add my microphone as a source because OBS for some reason broke the old source on my microphone. So my name is Skylarka. I'm sorry about the delay and the technical difficulties. I am an opossum, and this is my first stream. Hello. I think that's everything. That's been the stream. Nice to meet you. Goodbye. Yes, I'm starting as a VTuber. Music is a bit low. We can turn that up. That a little bit. That a little bit better. So I am Skylarka, like I said. I'm doing good. Nice to see all the folks here. Thank you so much for the raid, Maru. I appreciate it so much. It's very exciting to have a whole bunch of people here for my very first stream. I'm not really calling it a debut because I'm not doing like debut stuff. I'm just doing a stream. Like, I figure I'm just a humble opossum. I don't need a big fancy debut. I'm not an android or something like Maru. Nothing fancy. Just an opossum. Little fuzzy, little gal. Little fuzzy gal. But yeah. So I figured I would just chat for a little bit, and then we'll do what I'm probably going to do a lot of, and that's making some music on stream. I am a musician. I actually made the music you're listening to right now. I use a lot of software synthesizers. I have a bunch of those. I used to be a meat musician, um, playing music in real life. How's the music now, Maru? I've turned it up again. Um, but yeah, so I used to be a musician in meat space in like the non digital, non virtual world. And that was a whole lot of work. That was like having multiple extra jobs on top of like jobs for survival. Yeah. I need to link to the Spotify. I have links restricted. You can share like certain links in the chat. Um, so you can share. You should be able to share clips on Twitch, and you should be able to share YouTube channels. Um, but I don't know that you can share Spotify links. That should not be allowed right now. But I will say my Spotify. I am on Spotify. I am on Tidal. I'm on Apple Music. I'm on a bunch of those music services, um, and the links for those are in the description. This song that you're listening to now is not on those services, Giselle. This is the custom background music that I made for streaming. So this is not currently available for listening anywhere, but if people like it, I can put it on YouTube and I can put it on Spotify. Like, that's definitely a doable thing. But I was at the very least waiting until I debuted to put it out there because I didn't want it to be spoiled, you know? Oh, hey, Streamlabs. Look, there's a link to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on YouTube. Um, Speaking of YouTube, that's where my VODs are gonna go. So I am, they'll be on Twitch for a little while, but I believe Twitch auto deletes VODs after a while. But I have a YouTube channel. So you can check out my YouTube channel, and you'll find VODs there if you ever miss a stream. You'll also find all of my old mashups and any future mashups, as well as all my songs. I put a bunch of songs on YouTube, and I actually have some songs on YouTube that are not currently on streaming because they're cover songs. And you have to pay annually for royalty fees and things like that to publish cover songs in streaming services. So I think it's something around $12 a year, so like $1 a month, and it's not that much. But when you have a lot of cover songs, it adds up quickly. So I decided not to put any cover songs on streaming services because I didn't want to have to choose. And yeah, so they're on YouTube. You can find them there. They're in the same playlist as all my originals. But yes, so I have original music. I'm gonna make original music on stream. I'll also probably do some gaming. Not today, probably, but maybe. We'll see where things go. But in the future, at least, I'm likely to do some gaming on stream. Maybe some guerrilla streams if I'm vibing some evening or something and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna play some games. I might stream. So we'll see. I play all kinds of games. Right now, I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight, but my favorite game of all time is Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. I love that game. It's probably the best game ever made. Just saying. Just saying. That game's spectacular. There was a time when I played so much Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy that I could clear that game in under 5 minutes. I probably couldn't do that today, but I probably could still clear it in under 10. Maybe we'll do a Bennett Foddy stream later this week. That would be fun. We can listen to Bennett Foddy negging us about falling if I screw up. Other games that I like, I play Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know if I'm ever going to play that on stream. That's kind of an unwindy type game for me. But maybe I'll do some streams of that. Maybe I'll do like some Crystalline Conflict streams or something sometime. That could be fun. Because it's just like hanging out PvPing. I could chat while I did that. There's no story that's going to spoil anybody or anything. Oh yeah, Toxon, that would be an awesome stream. I would love to do that. That would be very fun. Let's see. What other games? I mean, I have so many games. One game I've been dying to play that I have never played before because I've been wanting to play it on stream is called Cyberpunk 2089. It's a really cool cyberpunk game. Very 80s. I love the 80s. The world I came from is very 80s. Everything is still basically the 80s. That's why I love synthesizer music. Oh, music! I was talking about music, and then we got distracted by games. But yeah, I play basically anything. I love all kinds of games. I kind of go through phases where I will play, like, FPS games, or I'll play, like I said, Dead by Daylight is the current fix. I'll go through platformer phases, puzzle games. I really like Tetris. I might do, like, crossword streams. I like crosswords a lot. I feel like that could be really fun. The other thing that I might do for gaming streams is, I don't know what Picross is. I don't know. But just regular crossword puzzles, you know? Like that, I think the Washington Post, their crossword puzzles are free to play online. And so, oh, that sounds cool. But yeah, and then the other idea for like weird gaming streams, I am absolutely horrifically bad at chess. I don't play chess, but I've been fascinated by it for my entire life. So I might do like some chess puzzle streams, doing chess puzzles. Maybe in the future I'll do playing my community at chess, where we play chat in like 10-minute rounds of chess on chess.com. I feel like that would be fantastically fun, especially because I'm so bad. You have no idea. So yeah, so like that's, I want to do like weird game stuff. Game stuff will be very strange. I'm gonna take a sip of water. But yeah, gaming. So that's gaming. Music. I used to play, I mentioned this in Meat Space, and I played mostly stringed instruments. So I play the guitar, I play the bass guitar. I've played some wind instruments. I used to play the trumpet a lot. I've played clarinet. I've played saxophone of various varieties, all kinds of musical instruments. And the thing about playing musical instruments, and especially playing in bands and going out and playing live, things like that. Oh, yes, I do play the drums. Yep, that's true. I forgot that one. So the thing about that is there's a whole lot of drawbacks. So, number one, you have to have a ton of different instruments. So, like, I have a guitar rack behind me that you can't see, but it has 3 guitars on it. But I have more guitars than that. I have guitar in the closet, and I've sold many guitars, and I have a bass guitar in the closet. So I have more than just what I have out. I also have a trumpet in the closet, and I used to have a saxophone. I used to have a whole drum kit. Just like, there's so much equipment, and so moving is terrible. Reorganizing your house is terrible. Keeping everything clean and maintained is terrible. It's just so much work all the time. And then you want to go out and you want to play for people, and you have to pack all that equipment up in your car. And if you're playing a guitar or a bass guitar, you have to pack up the amplifiers in your car, and then you have to drive to the venue, and then you have to unload and set up and hang out there for hours and hours to play for like 30 minutes. It's so much work. And that's not even to talk about like touring and booking shows. Don't even get me started on touring. Booking tours is a full-time job. And when you're an independent musician playing in an independent band, you usually aren't making enough money to hire a promoter and let them take a cut of your shows and of your take, and like pay them extra to book tours and shows. So you do that all of that work yourself. And there's a reason that being a band promoter is a full-time job, let me tell you. Because I have been a band leader and a band promoter at the same time. And whew, I don't miss that. Yeah, trombones are huge, Toxon. That's a big thing to have to carry around everywhere. Ugh. So yeah, I kind of got burned out, and I retired from playing live music in bands. And then I came to this world through a happy accident, and you have computers that can play music. And holy crap, that's the coolest thing ever. Like, I can sit in my den and I can play music. And not only can I sit in my den and play music, I can sit in my den and I can record music, and I can mix music. I don't need to go to a recording studio to make albums. I can just do it in my den. And I can broadcast that for all of you. So that's what we're gonna primarily be doing, I think, on my channel, is making some music. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. I use a digital audio workstation called Reaper, and that's what I make music in. I primarily use MIDI instruments, like I said, MIDI software synthesizers. I have a whole bunch of those. And currently, this is exciting. This is exciting stuff. I am working on, I don't know if it will be a full length or a short EP length, but I'm working on an album right now. It's a pseudo concept album. I've got 2 tracks done and ready for mastering. And today's stream, we're gonna work on a track for the album. The pseudo concept is that people don't like to talk about or reveal information about their software synthesizers. There's a whole bunch of people who are really all about hardware synthesizers, which carry the same drawbacks as live instruments. Like, they're big and bulky, and they require a ton of maintenance, and you have to carry them around, and all of these things. But, like, you can make an argument that they sound better, but software synthesizers sound freaking great. Like, I fucking love software synthesizers. They're so good. And so the concept album is that each track on the album will be made with all of the synthesized sound coming from a single synthesizer, software synthesizer. And each track will be named after that software synthesizer. So, like, there will be things on the songs that isn't synthesized. So I have a bunch of sample-based drum kits and things like that. So those are not from the synthesizer. Those will be samples and whatever. But whenever there's a synthesizer noise on a track, each track will be entirely made with one synthesizer, which is not something I normally do. I usually mix and match based on sound and how I'm feeling when I'm working on stuff. So it's been, the first 2 tracks have been a neat project, and I really got to learn a lot more about the individual software tools that I was using for the songs when I made them, and explore the sound libraries and the settings and things like that a little bit deeper than I normally do to try to get a full song's worth of sounds out of a single instrument. So that's what we're gonna do for the album. And I don't have a release date. I don't know how many software synthesizers I have and how many I'm gonna use, but we're gonna work on a song today. I'm glad you're looking forward to it, Coleman. Thank you. Big sip of mate there. Mate. I used to drink mate many years ago, and I stopped. And then watching Maru, with her always talking about it, I started getting mate again, and wow, I love it. It's so good. It doesn't give me a sour stomach like coffee, and it's bitter and delicious. It's bitter in the most delicious way possible, and I just love it. It's so good. I'm gonna have another sip. I even have a metal mate gourd, and the metal bombilla. You can probably even hear it. That's the straw. That's the mate straw. Very cool. Love mate. Yeah. Let's see. I feel like I had more I wanted to talk about before I started making music. Oh, let's talk about my model for a minute. I made my own model so far. It's, this model was made in Vroid Studio. Thank you for the follow. Thank you so much. Happy to have you here. So I made this model in Vroid Studio, and it's my look is based on a character design that Giselle made, and she's here in the chat today. Thank you, Giselle. Can I preview the work on the last song? I'm not gonna do that today, but maybe we can do that sometime soon. I want to keep some things in my bag of tricks. But the Vroid, it was real hard to get my hair. You've probably seen my my concept art illustration is kind of everywhere because it's the main illustration that I have of my character so far. And she has really big hair that is based on Kay from Dirty Pair, if you've ever seen Dirty Pair. If not, you should absolutely watch Dirty Pair. Giselle, if you have it handy, can you link that Dirty Pair HD intro in the chat? So yeah. So all I really have right now is my model and my concept art sketch. And so the hair was the hardest part to make in Vroid, but I feel like I did an okay job. So this is kind of my proto model. I would like over time to get a upgraded 3D model and eventually a 2D model made, but those are long-term goals, so we'll get there. For now, I will be happy using my homemade DIY model, and I think it came out quite good. I I forget what it's called. A leap motion controller. I have one of those coming. It's ordered. It's on the way. So my hope is that it will have enough range that you'll be able to see my hand when I am playing on the keyboard. What? Symbols? How did you get timed out for 300 seconds? Streamlabs? What is going on, Streamlabs? Hold on. You should not have been timed out for that. I thought I had that off. Cloudbot? What the heck? Symbol protection? Giselle, I am so sorry. You were not supposed to be timed out there. Apparently, I accidentally clicked symbol protection on, and it has a long penalty because it was just the default, because it wasn't supposed to be on. Well, can I get you back in the chat? I don't know anything about Twitch. This is my very first time using it. Ahaha! Untime out Giselle. And permit user. Alright. Whew! Giselle, I think you should be off timeout. That was a brutal thing. I don't know why that I mean, I know why that happened. It was on in Streamlabs. It wasn't supposed to be on. So anyway, this is the link that I asked Giselle to get. If you haven't seen Dirty Pair, that is an absolutely beautiful Blu-ray rip of the Dirty Pair intro. It's an old anime, and it's the quality, because it's of the age, we've never really been able to see it in HD, and the Blu-ray quality, it's incredible. It's incredible Sakuga. The animation is absolutely gorgeous, and I super duper strongly recommend that you check it out. At least that opening, because it's absolutely beautiful. And my hair is based off of Kay, who is the redhead in the Dirty Pair, the titular Dirty Pair from Dirty Pair. There was a remake, or a kind of remake or sequel anime as well, called Dirty Pair Flash. I don't like that one as much. I like the original Dirty Pair a lot. Very cool show. Incredible animation. Really wonderful, memorable characters. And, yeah, it's from the 80s. Like, you know, like me. From the 80s. Forever. Yeah. So, model. Other things about my model. I have a few expressions. No. That video was not made in Flash. That video, or Dirty Pair Flash, was also not made in Flash. It was, Dirty Pair is a show from the 80s, and Dirty Pair Flash was made in the 90s, and it's just an anime. It was not made in Flash. It's just called Dirty Pair Flash. Yeah. I don't really know why it was called that, but that's okay. Yeah, no, I get why you would get scared. Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine that show made in Flash would be questionable, perhaps. But model stuff. I do have a few expressions with the model. I can be very happy Okay. Hello. We're back. I had to restart my computer to get back, but we made it back! We did it! I'm echoing. Oh, that's because all of my mic sources were working, so I had multiple microphones going. Is it better? Because I created all those mic sources because the sound kept dying. I just muted them all except for one. Whew! What a mess. For an audio streamer, you would think I would have fewer audio problems. But here we are. I'm just getting all of my windows and everything back up so I can see what's going on. Scuffed. It wouldn't be a first stream if it wasn't full of scuff, you know? But, yeah, we won't be using expressions. That's, apparently expressions destroy all sound. But we're back. We've got music. Did you like the AFK music? That's a track that is also not released. Yeah, it was pushing my expression buttons, caused all the sound in the stream to go away. No more self-expression. Not allowed. Yeah, probably an OBS hotkey that I don't know about or something. I don't know anything about OBS. I just got it and was like, I'm gonna do this! I'm gonna use OBS! That's a good idea, Giselle. Expression destroys sound. If I ever get a merch store going, that can be one of our products. Expression destroys sound. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're probably right, Taksan. Like, nobody really knows. OBS is an open source mystery. It's technically open source, but nobody really knows how it works. It's the dark internet magics that enable us to live multiple alternate lives. Oh my god. It's because you're an Android. You just upload... Maru, you're an Android, so you know all about OBS because you just uploaded it in the code into your Android brain, and then you knew everything there was to know about OBS. I think that's... Mm-hmm. Yep. That's exactly what it is. No timming here. No timming. Timming is banned. We're gonna ban timming, Jerry. Ugh. I love you, Maru. Yeah, so, well, we have sound. How about we get into some music? Let me get us going with that. Take our OBS and move it a little over to here. And then we're gonna go to this scene. Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now? There's no BGM. I was just muted. All of those microphone sources weren't in this scene. So, I'm sorry about that. So there's no BGM here because this is where we're gonna make music. And I accidentally had, I didn't add those mics to this scene in my OBS. And I was on one of the alternate microphones. So we're all good. We're all good. So this is Reaper. This is, it's actually relatively affordable if you ever want to get into making music. And this is how I make music. So let's get going here. We're just gonna literally start from scratch with a project. What I'm gonna do, I have these pre-made track templates that I use. I built all of these in advance, and you can see they're all named and whatever. And building drum kits out of samples is a huge pain in the butt. So we're just gonna go with this one. Much easier to use templates. Well, that didn't work at all. Why did it do lead guitar? That's not the template I chose. Unless I accidentally saved over my template. That would be funny. Let's try it one more time. And then if that doesn't work, we'll add a different one. Where's my 80s? Oh, I clicked on Epic 80s Guitar! That's why. I'm not seeing the drum kit that I wanted. Let's use the Roland D70 kit. I like this kit. Yeah, there we go. That's the kind of thing I was expecting to see. So, with this drum kit, can you hear the drum sounds there? You should hopefully be able to hear drum sounds. I hope they're not too loud. We can adjust the volume as we go. So let's what we're gonna do is we're gonna right click on this record button, and then we're gonna go down here to track recording settings. Okay, let's turn up the Reaper audio here a smidgen. I don't want to blow out your ears with loud drums, so I won't go too far all at once. How's that? Any better? Little fat kick drum. So we're gonna right click on the record button. Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. And actually, while I'm looking at the Twitch here, let's change the category to music, because now we're doing music. Boom. Okay. So what all of this is, if you look on the this left-hand side, this is the track view where you can see, and as we start to record, this main panel here is where things will get recorded, and you'll see the MIDI tracks here. The way that my drum layouts work is this track right here, this top one that says drums, that's just a folder. That doesn't really do anything. I can put effects on it if I want to put an effect on the entire drum kit, but otherwise, it's just a folder. And then this first track is my first MIDI track, and it has on it the MIDI for all of the different drums in the drum kit. So if I want to record all the drums as one MIDI file, I can do that. And then it sends this, when it plays back, the MIDI gets sent to each individual track down here, broken out by instrument. And so I could record all of my drum MIDI on this one track, but then I can control each individual part of the drum kit down here, and I can add different sound, like different effects to it. I can adjust the volume. I can do all kinds of really cool things. Reaper is very powerful once you learn how to use the routing tools, especially because you can do all kinds of crazy shit like this. One of the weird, quirky things is I find it easier because I'm actually pretty terrible at the keyboard, and so I usually find it easier to actually create new MIDI tracks for everything so that I can edit and tweak and record and know exactly what I'm messing around with every time. So I'll often make a whole bunch of extra unnecessary tracks. So if you see me do that, that's totally unnecessary. It's just a workflow thing that works for my feeble opossum brain. Yeah. So let's get going. So I started to say this before. So this top thing this is my selection. So I'm going to select 8 bars, and we're going to make sure that this loop is on. So this is going to loop those 8 bars since we have the toggle loop on and we have a selection. So then what we're going to do, we're going to right click on this record button here on the MIDI track, and we're going to go to track recording settings, and we're going to turn on quantize track MIDI recording to nearest value. And what quantization is, if you don't know, is since quanta are literally it's parts of things. When you quantize MIDI, you're taking it and you're making it so that the notes fit to the actual notes of the music. And so, like you've got quarter notes and you've got eighth notes, and they're all based on the tempo. So if I'm just playing the kick drum, right, I can play it whenever I want. And if I quantize it, the software will automatically put it so it lines up with the beats, which is very cool. And since we're going to record kick drums first, I'm going to set that to quarter notes because I want my kick drums on quarter notes. And so that's all set. And now we're just going to record some kick drums. I'm going to turn on the click track, and let's see. First, let's see how fast this is. Let's I think that 120, that might be just right. Am I back? Hello? Can you hear me now? Why is OBS muting? That's so weird. I didn't even push any buttons on the keyboard. OBS was just over on the side and it had muted my microphone. OBS is mad at me, I guess. And with the kick drum, we can play some kick drum. And we've got kick drum on every quarter note here. And we've got 4 bars of it. So now, this is just an annoying settings thing that you have to do in Reaper. You've got to turn off looping on your item to trim it properly. And then you can turn looping back on. And there's better MIDI software. Or I guess MIDI software that's more optimized for recording in MIDI, but I've been using Reaper for like basically since it came out. I got Reaper when it was in its like beta mode before the initial 1.0 release, and Reaper is in 6.2 now. So like, yeah, it's that's a thing. It's I'm an old friend to Reaper, and I only recently started using MIDI, so I've learned the Reaper MIDI workflow because I was just so familiar with the software that I decided to just go with that. And so now what I'm going to do, because I'm lazy, is I'm going to take our MIDI track and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to call this track, this is going to be kick drum MIDI, and this one we're going to call snare drum MIDI. And like I said, this could all be on the same track. I just find that this workflow makes more sense to me. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna hide. This is my track manager. This shows what tracks show up here on the left and what show up on the bottom. I'm gonna hide all these, the ones that I want on the bottom. I'm gonna just hide them from the left because I don't need them on there. I should really build this into the default view. So there. So that's all set. So now the snare drum MIDI, it has all of our kick drum hits on it, and we don't want that. So I can just delete this, and now we'll record our snare drum. All right, we only need the first loop, so we're gonna delete the second loop, and now we've got snare drums recorded. Boom. And I'll probably go back and I'll probably make that a little bit fancier and add some variation later. But the point here is we're just getting like a super basic beat because I want to like get on some synthesizer stuff with you guys and really get things going. So let's whoops, I don't want that. We're going to duplicate this again. And this one is going to be got all these sounds. I want that to be the hat sound. So this one, I'm going to do a little bit different. This one, we're going to take that quantization. We're going to set this to 16th notes. And then I'm not going to record all of this because that would be terrible. I'm just going to record a couple. Alright, that's plenty. So now we're going to turn off looping. And we're going to edit the MIDI. So it looks like we came in on bar 2. So we're going to split. I'm going to delete that. And we just want one bar of this for now. We'll make more later. And then we've got our, oops, misclicked there again. We have our MIDI here. And right now we just have on every quarter, and I want a lot more hats than that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna select all of this, and we're just gonna duplicate it all. That's too much. There we go. That's how we want it. So now we have this one bar of hats, and we can loop it. If I turn on looping, we can loop the hats all the way to the end. And look, we have a basic drum beat. And now we can turn off our click track because now we have a drum beat. And then another cool thing I'm going to do, so now we're going to start messing with effects. So on the hats, this is the hats track. So we're going to open up the effects and we're going to add a compressor to really start to get the electronic music kind of like thump or pulse sound that people know and love. Where the hi-hats and some of the other instruments kind of like pulse and like you can really feel the kick cutting through. So we're going to grab a compressor. And this compressor is the one I'm going to use because I have a preset. This is actually a free compressor and it's really good. It's called Melda Compressor. It's Melda Compressor, or it's Melda Audio M Compressor. And it's super good. The URL is even in the bottom here of the panel because I haven't paid for it. But if you need an audio compressor, I highly recommend this this Melda compressor. It's real good. It's great stuff. So we're gonna go to presets, and I actually have a preset that I made. I can explain how it works if folks are interested. But where is it? Oh, that's right. User presets are saved up here on this because it's weird. Sidechain for kick channel. So the way that sidechaining works, this is a neat audio production technique, and it's something that I think you should learn if you want to make like electronic music. You really should learn how to do side chaining. So you can side chain really any effect at all. You can sidechain all kinds of things, but the most common thing to sidechain is compressors. That's pretty much what I only sidechain. So the side, you can see there's the in and the out here. In is our hats. Side is another track. So we can take any of our other tracks and we route it to the side channels on our hat channel. So we're going to take the kick drum and we're going to add routing to it. And so what we're going to do, we don't need the snare MIDI on here. We don't need the hats MIDI on here. So we're going to add some routing. This is our routing menu in Reaper. So we're going to say, we want to add a new send. So we're going to take our kick drum and we're going to send it to our hat. And now you can hear the kick drum just got really loud. That's because we're sending it to the hat, but we're sending it to the main outputs. So we're going to send it to new channels. And now all of a sudden the kick drum is going to this side channel, right? So now what we can do is we can mess with these compressor settings. And if I mute the kick drum, then you just hear the hats. But with the kick drum going, you can hear now all of a sudden there's this rhythmic variation in the hat that syncs up with the kick drum activations. Yes, I think that that's probably true, Maru. This is what it feels like when you start talking about Amaterasu no Mikado's Knight of Gold. That's probably the case. I'm a big music nerd. But the point is, with this sidechaining technique, you can use the compressor to compress your hi-hat signals when the kick drum goes off. So you can create this rhythmic kind of sound to like make the hi-hat sound a lot more interesting, because it's just hitting on every single 16th note, but you've got some cool rhythm there now that lines up with our kick drum. And that's like a very classic, like a super duper outrun synthwave type thing. So I'm gonna just save, and you're gonna see some of my file trees, but that's okay. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna go working, we're gonna go new, and we're gonna say this is for our synths album stream track. Yeah, it muted me again. OBS just keeps muting me. I don't know why. OBS hates me. But we should be back. Should be unmuted again. I don't know what's going on with that. OBS is just randomly muting my mic. But good, we're back. So we're going to use this FM8 synthesizer today. And this is just the basic FM8, that's the first sound. So this synthesizer is made by Native Instruments. They're the folks who make Contact, which is one of the like really big like important quote unquote audio production tools that everybody uses. I have it. I bought it. It was very expensive, even though I got it on sale. I don't use it as often as I thought that I would. I'm going to be totally honest, but this is made by the same company. This is an additive synthesizer, or no, this is an FM synthesizer, a frequency modulation synthesizer is what FM8 stands for. I couldn't tell you a ton about it. I just know that there's a couple different ways to synthesize audio. The primary ones that are used for synthesizing are subtractive synthesis, additive synthesis, and frequency modulation synthesis. This is a frequency modulation synthesizer, which is kind of like the classic Korg DX7, which was kind of known as the sound of the 80s. It was also a frequency modulation synthesizer. But this synth, I've not really used this synth basically ever. It's just been sitting here, so I don't really know what any of this sounds like. So we're just going in blind, and we're gonna learn how to use it and learn what it sounds like and all of that. So let's see. Let's look at some of these sounds here. Can we sort them by like type maybe? We have like basses and drums, and or do we just have to scroll through everything? I think we just have to scroll through everything. That's terrible. Let's try this. We got a bass guitar. That's getting there. Oh. All right, we're gonna start with this. This is good. This is good. So we're gonna go to this. And we're just messing with some of the settings here. So these letters stand for things. There's attack, which is how fast the sound starts. There's decay, which is how fast the sound gets quieter. There's sustain, which is how much of the sound is, I guess, like how the volume level of the sound over time. And then there's release, which is how fast the sound lets go when you release the sound key. So those parameters really affect the sound, and those are on every single synthesizer you'll ever use. So I'm just trying to customize the sound here a little bit. I usually do this. I start with presets, and then I tweak the presets until I get to a point that I think the sound is unique and cool, and I like it. Don't like that. Okay, I think this is a good enough bass sound. So now we've got our synthesizer sound done for the bass. Let's lay down our initial bass track, and we're just gonna noodle around here. I'm gonna vibe for a little bit, and we're gonna see what we can come up with. Oh no, I don't want to record hats. I just want to record our synthesizer. And this is gonna be bass 1. And this is fat. So we're gonna call it fat because it's a fat sound. Now, That's way too happy. That's way too happy. Let's just jam for a bit before I record. We're just gonna jam. Get something we like. Did I mention that I'm terrible at the keyboard? We'll do some editing when I record in MIDI to get really lock in the actual composition. Because I cannot play a keyboard live very well. Alright, I think I got something here. Let's record it. I'm gonna let it loop once. We're gonna take two, because I have the click track off. I didn't get clicked in. Take three it is. Like I said, I'm bad at the keyboard. Alright, so we're gonna take the last two. And we're gonna adjust these. This one, we're gonna put at the front, and I might have taken, or oh no, it's just repeating. I see. This one we're gonna put at the end, and then we're gonna glue these together so that we have our 8-bar initial bass loop. And that's what we're gonna base this song on. That's gonna be our first bass line. So let's, like I said, we're gonna tweak it in the MIDI view here because I'm terrible at the keyboard. So first, we're gonna quantize it to 8th notes. Why didn't you quantize? There we go. Clean this up. Want that louder. That's meant to be a D. Alright, here's our initial bass loop. May not sound like much, but it's gonna turn into something special eventually. But making music, it takes a long time. It's not like it's a an instantaneous process to get a song done. Just saying. Alright, so we're gonna run with that as our first bass track. I'm just gonna copy this, because maybe we'll use the same MIDI and just tweak. I'm gonna call this bass 2, and we're gonna mess with our sound again. And this, we might actually go back to one of those bass guitar noises that I was looking at a little while ago. I like this one. That's... Yeah. Okay, this is a... Yeah. All right. So, here, we're going to use the arpeggiator. I like that this has an arpeggiator. Do we want to use the arpeggiator? I don't know how this arpeggiator works, believe it or not. Never used this one. I could probably figure it out, but that might be better to do off stream. Well, no, it looks pretty simple. Let's see what happens. Yeah. We're not going to do that octave thing. I don't like it. So what we're going to do... I already talked about this today. So we're gonna add a receive here from the kick. We're gonna put it 3 and 4. Give us a kick too. And then you can hear comes in and out with that kick drum. Helps if I use the right setting. We're gonna add some sub bass to this. So what this is doing is it's adding some super low bass to that bass track we just made. We really want that to sound thumpy. And then we can put a limiter on it, and the limiter will keep it from clipping, where it might be wanting to be clipping, and the kick drum on it is still clipping, which is interesting. Well, it's just the kick drum. You can't hear that anyway, so it doesn't matter. So now we've got this very thumpy, very bassy thing happening. I don't hate it. Definitely gonna have to do something more interesting with this fat bass line at some point, because I can see that getting old pretty quickly, and I apologize if it's getting old for you on loop in the stream as you're watching. Yeah, because I feel like it certainly could. But you know, that's part of making music this way. You gotta listen to things over and over and over and over and over again, but ultimately you come up with something very cool. Let's add another FM8. We're gonna go for a lead this time. And I'm gonna make a bass folder. Basses. And we're just gonna plunk these guys into this folder. And we're gonna make them all the same color, make this a different color, and I just use random color. You can customize the color. I just use random colors every time. This might become a pad, just because there's a... Alright, so we're gonna change that to a pad. And we want the middle. This does need a little tweaking, but it came out pretty okay. We're just gonna solo it, so that's all we can hear while we work on this. Oh, it's behind my camera. Oh, I can't see. There we go. Let's see how this sounds. Ew. What note do we want that on? I love this little walk down. That could work. Let's see. Yeah, I like this. Don't worry, we're gonna make that louder in the mix in a second here. And what I might do actually, let's solo that again, even though it's hard to see. Oh, I didn't want to solo everything. I just want the pad. We're gonna make this into chords. Not full chords, just simple chords because it's a pad. And what we don't want to do is make it fill up too much space in the mix. What we really want is for the pad to just like fill things up nicely and like give the mix, I don't know, like a nice kind of like ambiance to it, you know? Like that's kind of what pads do. They fill up space in a really pleasant way. I might add another note in here. Might put it there though. Just to mimic this rhythmic pattern here. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, that's terrible. That's not even in the same key, Skylarka. I actually do like this a little early, the way we initially had it. Which was kind of just a playing mistake. I came in early on the note, but I think it sounded better. And I do want this back where this was. Maybe there. That could be the happy medium that I'm looking for in this line. Yes, set your drift. Set yourself adrift with the timeless pleasures of synthesizers. Ah. Synthesizers. Gotta love them. They're amazing. They're so cool. So cool. No, I don't like that there. Sounds yucky. Come on, make the F. Make the F! We need an F! We put that C down low. And then we stretch this out. Like that. You know, I've gone back and forth, and I am gonna make this shorter. Now that I've got these notes in place, it sounds the way I like, I think. Yeah! And we're gonna put this, since it starts and ends on the same chord, this D and G, which is, you know, it's not really a chord. Like I said, chords technically need to have 3 notes to be called chords. Yes, synth F to play respects. No. What we're gonna do instead, I don't like that high note, so we're gonna add another little transitory thing like we've got in these other ones. And a little variation. Yeah, that's better. So we're gonna copy this F chord, the F over C. Oh, whoops. I didn't copy my chord. I stole my chord. Okay. So that, sea shanty number 2. No, I'm gonna reban you, Giselle. This time it won't be an accident. Sea shanty number 2. No. Not gonna play it. Mostly because I can't play it. Because like I said, I'm pretty terrible at the keyboards. I can get by with these synthesizer instruments, but I'm not a keyboard player. You might have noticed that I'm playing all of these keyboard these keyboard things, and what did you try to post, Maru DeCinco? Did you try to post a clip? If you tried to post a clip, I'm very sorry. It's supposed to let clips.twitch.tv through. Were you posting sea shanty number 2? I bet you were posting sea shanty. Oh, it thought reblog.oof.wave was a link? Rob? The Roblox oof. 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 I should put that in a song sometime. I should make a song and I should get that Roblox oof and I should put it in a song. I think that would be a good time. That would be very funny. Roblox oof.wave. I don't like that Streamlabs link filtering is filtering out comments that have a like that. I'm gonna have to adjust those settings. We'll probably turn off the Streamlabs link filtering and maybe turn on Twitch link filtering or something, or maybe make it a little bit more relaxed. I don't know. I don't want to get sued by Tommy Tallarico. That would be bad. Roblox. That's what it's called now. Roblox. Because the blocks are raw. We got these raw blocks, and we're blocking and blicking and blocking. I have gotten a cease and desist notice before. I used to run a record label, and when I was running a record label, I got a cease and desist from some other independent musician, and he had gone to the trouble of copywriting like a whole bunch of variations of some name that he was using for. Oh my god, it's a raid! Hello! Thank you, Come and Go Tavern. Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. We're chatting right now this second, but we're working on some cool synthesizer music. Nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for rating. I really appreciate it. Please enjoy your stay. This is my first stream ever. I've never streamed before. I've made music for a long time, but I have only really gotten into synthesizer music the last couple of years. I've always played music in meat space with real instruments. I don't really play the keyboard, but I can plunk away at it well enough to make music on a computer, which is the coolest, most futuristic thing of all time, making music on the computer. I absolutely love it. And I love that I don't have to haul equipment around and book tours and shows. I can just hang out at home and I can make music. And now, thanks to the power of the internet, I can share music with all of you. It's amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. Hooray. Well, welcome. I hope that you enjoy it and you have a good time and you think that the music we make is cool. Let's jump back in. So we've got this pad sound now. And that timing does not work for this song. change this chord. I don't like this chord. Hey, thank you for the follow, Squib. It's good to see you here. I am very glad that you came by. I wasn't sure if anybody from the server... Squib is on a giant Discord server with me. He might know a little bit more about me than I am comfortable sharing on stream. But Squib is a cool guy, and he's my friend, and I'm really glad that you came by. Thank you. Thank you for coming out to the stream. And thanks for the follow. We're working on this synthesizer line right now. And this chord, it works when it's on its own, but it doesn't work with the other stuff that I've got going on this track. So let's just put on this one bass so I can hear how that's... Thank you for the follow, Sass Vulture! Sass is from the same place. Or no, excuse me, Sass is from a different place. Hello, Sass. Sass is from the Southside server. If you don't know the Southside, they're a whole bunch of amazing VTubers. And they have all kinds of different things. It's VTubers called Meat and Koki and Peony, who is also an opossum, because opossums are the coolest animals ever. You should definitely love opossums. But there's Crimbo, who is a supervillain made of goop or something. I don't really know. He has all kinds of goop and ooze. But Southside's very cool, and I watch a lot of their stuff. And Giselle got me into them. And Sass is a fellow member of the community over there at Southside. So hello, Sass. Thanks for coming by. For now, I probably will stream in this time slot pretty regularly. I might bump it up an hour or two, but we'll see how this goes. This time slot feels pretty good. I liked starting in the afternoon for me. It was nice. So you'll probably be able to catch me at this time for a while. And I'll probably also add some streams during the week. But I'm not sure when yet. I gotta figure it out. That's better. I like that. Thank you. Thank you so much. That needs to be there, I think. Yep. And we're gonna fix that again. We fixed that like 3 times. We keep going back and forth with the syncopation, but I think for a pad, less syncopation usually works better. So I should have, and I know that. It just sounded neat at the time. I'm gonna move this again. On this note to hold longer. I'm gonna go all the way to here. I'm gonna move these. Let's give this a try. I like that better. I hope you like that better, because I like that better. Thank you for the follow, Ray. Thank you so much. Ray is from the same place as Squib. I know that's true. Hello, Ray. Ray is also a VTuber, I believe. Let's give Ray a shout out just because we can. There you go. Shout out for Ray. It's my first stream ever. It's very exciting. It's something that I've actually wanted to do for a long time, is stream music and games and all kinds of things, and I'm finally doing it. It's a very exciting day. First stream ever. And we're working on a new track that we started from total scratch here, and we're just working on like a big 8-bar loop that we can use as kind of a foundation or a core for a whole song, which we're definitely not going to get to make a whole song today. It takes me something like 10 or 20 hours to make a whole song. Well, thank you, Giselle. Thank you so much for hyping me up on the South Side. But it takes a long time of work to make a whole song. Plus, we're taking breaks to chat and explain things. So we're not going to finish this song today, but we can keep on working on it on the next stream. That will be the plan. So for now, I'm gonna. Saturdays are gonna be my like working on music like designated streams for now, because I do have a day job. I gotta keep feeding myself and those sorts of things. I need to pay for my den. Den rent is expensive. So Saturdays are going to be my music streaming days. I might add some gaming streaming days in between. I will probably, at least at the start, just do guerrilla streams on days where in the after work or before work when I feel up for it after work. So I might just pop online and just show up and be around for a bit here and there. We'll see how things go, and then based on what goes well with those, that's when I'll probably start with the actual like scheduled days of the week. When I see how things feel and what works and when people show up and are available to watch and hang out and all that stuff, that'll be probably how I build my schedule. And what was I doing in the music? Lost myself. I want to change this bass line, which is the first one that we wrote, but it has too much syncopation to be our main line here. Yeah, that's what I thought, Ray. I thought if I slowly eased in, it would help me to not get burned out or overwhelmed or anything like that, so that I could really like find my groove and make sure everything was working. We had a whole bunch of scuff at the start of the stream, which seems to have calmed down. I'm gonna curse myself here though, where my audio kept on cutting out. OBS just stopped sending audio to Twitch. I had to fully restart my computer to get that fixed. Very weird stuff. But we're here. It's working. So and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the music that I'm working on. Hello! Nice to meet you, Kiyoriko? Am I saying that right? I'm terribly sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Hello and nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping by. we're working on a song, and I'm using Kiyoriku. Okay, I see. Thank you. Um, we're working on a song that I only just started today on stream from nothing, and I am this is a song that will, provided it all comes out nice, will be part of an album or an EP that I am working on. And the concept for it is I'll be using one synthesizer for all of the synthesizer tracks. So I'm still using samples and things like that for the drums. But I'm using single synthesizers for all of the synthesized notes and music in each track, and then each track will be named after the synthesizer that I used. And I wanted to do that because I found that since getting into digital music production, a lot of people love using software synthesizers. Like, everybody uses software synthesizers. Everybody trades VST instruments and things like that, and all kinds of whatever. But nobody talks about which ones they use. And so I wanted to just kind of like try to open that up and just like talk about synthesizers and the software synthesizers that I use. You know, Giselle, that's the second time you've asked. We're gonna do it. So we're going to, let me find that track. And I'm just going to plunk it in Reaper, and we'll listen to it in Reaper. So you said the most recent one, right? So that's this. So Giselle wanted to preview this song. This is the first. I've got 2 songs done for this album so far. Well, they're not mastered, but other than mastering, they're all done. So one of them is called Oberhausen, and one of them is called Nifonium. This one is Nifonium. This is one of my favorite software synthesizers to work in, is Nifonium. So Giselle's been asking to preview this. So we're gonna listen to this is my song Nifonium, not yet released. Oh, whoops. I still have the loop on. Let's turn the loop off. The guitar solo that's coming up, I'm very proud of this guitar solo. Yeah, Airzonk music. I love that this reminds you of Airzonk music, because the music in Airzonk is absolutely awesome and is totally legendary. If y'all don't know about Airzonk and the Bonk games for TurboGrafx 16/PC Engine, awesome soundtracks in all of those, and great games. Airzonk is like an incredibly difficult side-scrolling shooter game with a super rad soundtrack. That song, like you said, it's called Nyphonium. It's not released yet. It's going to be on the same album as the song that we're working on right now. I'm working through them track by track because it's kind of like I said, since I'm using one synthesizer for each song, each track is also kind of like an experiment in like just like working with one synthesizer for a long time to like get all the sounds dialed in and mess around with the controls and things like that. So this track will be on the same album as the one that we're working on today. So it's not out yet, but when it comes out, it'll be on YouTube and Spotify and all of those other streaming services. They're linked down in the About section and on my link tree, which are on my About page on Twitch. So if you're here and you like it, you can follow me on your favorite streaming service, and then when this comes out, you'll get a notification. Needed some water. Been a while since I had a sip and I've been talking. So yeah, so that's Nyphonia. That's one of those songs. So back to this one. This one will be called FM8. We're using Native Instruments FM8 today, and that's what we're using to make this song with, which is very different from Nyphonium. Nyphonium has this like weird like it's a hardware emulation, I believe. So it has like this real like kind of like grounded, grimy, like old school sound. Whereas I'm finding this FM8 synth is I don't know. It's interesting. It sounds a lot more like a modern, more modern kind of a synthesizer, if that makes sense. I don't know that makes any sense at all. In my head, it feels more like a modern dance music synthesizer than like a retro, like hardware emulation type synthesizer, which is what the Oberhausen and the Nyphonium are, which are the two tracks that I've made so far. So yeah, that's it's weird. It's very different. Plus, I can't figure out. Oh, here, maybe here. No, the sounds are not sorted by folder, which is just terrible. Like, I can't say, oh, I want a lead and then browse leads. It's just all, there's one big list by alphabetical order, and it's got like 1,800 voices or something. It's just so much. How am I supposed to find anything? Native Instruments. We're the gold standard. We're the best company in the world for virtual instruments. I don't know. I don't know. I've found that I really like Brainworks and Plugin Alliance a little bit more than Native Instruments, personally. Yeah, so I can click the thing, but then it doesn't do anything. The same thing with well, maybe they no. See, they're just not sorted in these folders. Yeah. Seems weird. It seems backwards. You would think that you would want them to be sorted, but they're not. That's a nice chiptune sound. If we were making a chiptune song, that's really nice. That's a nice pattern. Really, what I'm looking for now is we need some kind of a lead sound. So we've got our bass, we've got our pad, and I will sometimes make lead sounds out of pads, because a lot of pads are like really airy with slow attacks, but if you like crank up the attack speed and like tone down that airiness, you can get a really nice sound that cuts through a mix the way that a lead needs to. And they can be really interesting and unusual kind of leads. Ew. I don't like that sound. I'm just really just judging by the names, like trying to guess what I think might sound interesting. That's more pads. it would have maybe been better to use a synthesizer that I know how to play rather than spending all this time. Ah, ha ha ha! Never mind. This is great. Okay, so we're gonna build our lead out of this. First we're gonna go to easy morph. You know, I like the default better than what I just did. Let's go to here. What do I want to do? I don't even know if I want to mess with this whole matrix, because I don't know a ton about I don't know what each of these different routing paths and the frequency modulation is actually doing. So it would just be blind guessing. This is a pretty complicated synthesizer, honestly. I use a lot of subtractive synthesizers, which are a lot simpler than frequency modulation synthesizers, because frequency modulation synthesizers are basically like a whole bunch of waveform frequency synthesizers inside of the synthesizer, and then they all route around to each other internally, and then it spits out a final final sound that is all of them like stuck together. And so there's a lot going on under the hood of these kinds of synths. And they're not a thing that I've really worked with a whole bunch. So I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go. All right, let's try to mess around with this. Oh, whoops. My looping is off from when we previewed that song. So here's the trouble. I like the sound. I like the background. I'm not getting struck with any cool lead lines. Struggling with that today. Nothing catchy is really, like, coming to me as I'm messing around here. I need something catchy. I need something cool. I need a hook. I need a hook that's gonna suck them in. Turn them into dance zombies. Oh, I need a hook that's gonna make everyone really enjoy listening to the music. Yeah, that's what we want. We want people to like listening. Yeah, like listening. I'm back. I'm back. I hope I'm back. Can you hear me again? So I've got this, if Koki is live, maybe I'll raid Koki on my first ever stream. That would be funny. I think that would be really funny to raid Koki. Because it's my first stream. But what I might do if she's live and I want to watch her, I have this little lead lick. I'm gonna mess around with this one little lick that I've been screwing with and see if it works. And if it works, we'll record it. And then we've been going for a little over 2 hours. It's my first stream ever. I don't want to totally burn out, so maybe we'll think about wrapping up once we get this lead down in a way that I'm happy with for posterity for the next session, and then maybe we'll raid into Koki. So let's Oh my god, that sounds amazing. Okay, if Koki's watching shitty 90s VR videos, let's get this recorded and wrap up here. Cause that's what I want. Actually, I'm gonna put it here. Alright, let's oh. Let's mess with this here. Well, I can't quantize this because I'm doing this little pickup note. Or manually quantizing because I have these pickup notes. Why does that one sound so good and this one sounds so bad? Let's put our grid on 30-second notes. This timing just sounds off. Can't figure out what the timing I want is, though. I don't know what I'm gonna do at the end, but the start sounds pretty good. If I can go to it, let me go to it. Reaper, why you gotta be like this? Here. You. I think that's a good start for our lead. It's not perfect. We're definitely going to change it up a little bit next time, but I think that's a good start. So maybe that's where we will end today for music. And we're going to save this. And we're just going to zip back to another screen here. So I can look at OBS and not have you see it. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming and hanging out today. I did not ever in a million years think so many people would be here for my first ever stream. Especially, Reverb. Oh no. It's yeah, it was the same reason as Reverb earlier if you were here earlier. It's because OBS was broken earlier, and I had to add a bunch of new microphone sources because it kept on like shutting down my microphone. So I had multiple mics, and they all work now. So thank you all so much, so much for coming. This was amazing. I am so excited to be here and to be streaming. It's amazing, and you're all amazing, and I look forward to making some very cool, interesting songs and playing some games with you and building a cool community. Maybe if we get enough folks hanging out, we'll make a Discord or something. I don't know. I don't really have any plans. I just wanted to hang out and stream and make some music and maybe play games and stuff like that. Thank you all again so much. This has been amazing, and we're gonna raid into Koki, who's watching bad 90s videos, and she's part of the South Side, who you should absolutely check out. I love them. They're some of my VTuber inspirations. And yeah, thank you all so much. I'll see you at the latest on Saturday next week, but maybe we'll do a guerrilla stream, or I'll throw something on the schedule for during the week. We'll see. Yeah, let's use Giselle's message there as our raid message. 80s synth raid. And if you don't have those emotes, that's okay. Just say 80s synth raid. So we're gonna raid Koki. Bye everyone. Thank you.